And so it's like, from that perspective, perception gets blown wide open. The diversity and the range of expression of life, and you realize how vast the potential and possibilities are in terms of what is possible to create in form. Hey all, welcome back to my channel. Christina here, and we are doing another intuitive reading. Today we are reading for Rebecca, and I'm going to use the Osho Zen Tarot cards. So Rebecca, sit back, relax, breathe, enjoy, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Yeah, and thanks for being open to me reading you. So your card, Rebecca, is... Okay, we pulled the morality card. This is such a cool card because it's such an important point. Morality is the right or wrong. It's the source from which all judgment flows. The idea that something is either this or that, instead of realizing that everything is all one thing. So when we exist in morality, we exist in polarity. We're creating separation, as you're fully aware of. It's that point of really not recognizing, and this is the point I feel like that's coming through strongest here, is recognizing that everything is one thing. Everything is actually one thing. Everything is one thing. Every form, every substance, everything that is existent that we can perceive with our senses, all 5+ senses, it's all one thing. It's all made up of the same thing. It's all one thing. So to say that something is this or that, it's either this or that, it's this so it can't be that, is creating separation. And this is the biggest source of conflict that we have currently. This is why we have such polarization happening, is because we are all accepting and allowing this idea that something is greater than another thing, which is impossible if everything is one thing. So this is the point of like how trapped we actually become, how limited, how narrow-minded, how restricted and tight and stuck, and just like how limited and restricted and stuck we become when we see things with the lens of morality. When we say that something is better than another thing, when we imply that this is wrong and this is right, that's a judgment. And it's just that point of realizing that judge not, lest ye be judged. You know, it's like that is our source of conflict at the moment. If we can get this one point right, so many people can find so much relief in their life in realizing that I don't have to judge something as bad and I don't have to judge something as good. Everything can be just what it is, as an understanding of how it came about. You know, it's that point of having complete and unconditional understanding for why things are the way that they are. And I don't need to judge this is wrong and this is right and this is bad and this is good and this is as it should be and this shouldn't be this way. I don't have to be that judge. I can just accept, I know why this is created, I know why this is here, and I realize that in our innocence, in our unknowing, we created what we've created, and it's okay. I don't have to condemn or judge or blame anything. And it's just that point of how when we do that, we're so limiting ourselves because we're not recognizing the totality of ourselves, the wholeness of ourselves, the reality of ourselves, which is we're all one. Everything is just one thing. So a point to consider here is starting to see everything in every moment, in every room of your house, in every moment out on the street, with every interaction you have with someone, recognizing that that is you, but that it is all one. It's all one. It's all of the same substance. It's all of the same source. It's all made up from the very same point. And so it's like, from that perspective, the perception gets blown wide open. There is no more restraint or restriction when you start seeing everything as one, because you realize the diversity and the range of expression of life, and you realize how vast the potential and possibilities are in terms of what is possible to create in form. Because look at how the one thing manifests itself in so many different things. It can be so many different things. So it's like that point of like, oh wow, how amazing actually is it when I let go of this idea of morality, when I let go of this idea of, you know, right and wrong, when I stop separating life to be this or that, and when I stop competing and making life fight, I can see that life is this beautiful range and colors of, like, it's this beautiful spectrum of expression. It can be this and it can be that. It can be all of it and everything in between. It's like, wow, how much am I limiting life because of my morality, because of my judgments on it? So this is just a point to maybe reflect on, is there aspects of your life that you're still judging, aspects of you that you're still judging, aspects of people around you that you're still judging, where it's like you place yourself or others in a box of this is good and this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, this should be like this and this shouldn't exist. Because it's that point of recognizing, well, all of it is actually of the same thing, and in that judgment, it's just we restrict expression, we restrict it. You know, it's like we can't tell a child that what they're doing is bad behavior and expect them to understand, okay, I should change my behavior. No, they're going to internalize it, they're going to feel bad about themselves, they're going to start defining themselves as something's wrong with them, when we know that there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that they don't understand fully the reality of a situation, perhaps, of what their behavior means. And so it's just that point of treating the world like a little baby, treating everybody like a little baby, realizing I don't need to condemn you, I don't need to suggest that what you are is bad and shouldn't exist. I can just say, I know how you got like this, and it's okay, and I still love you, and I'm still going to be here for you, but let's see if we can create something that is more of service for all of us. So yeah, it's just that point of like recognizing the range of life, and even now, it's like even now we're able to see the beauty of what currently exists, because look at the range of expressions, look at the range of possibilities, look at the range of manifestations that exist on this planet. I mean, even like taking you as a human physical body and a cup being of the same source, you are the same exact thing. And look at what this one point of existence, this one source of life can express. It can express you as a complex system of a physical body, and it can manifest and express itself as a cup. It's like, that's amazing when you really start to recognize the oneness in everything, how everything is truly one. And yeah, it just really, you know, opens things up. So that is what's coming up for this. I'm going to read the book definition so we have just a little further perspective on it, okay? And the book says, morality has restricted all the juice and energy of life to the narrow confines of her mind. It can't flow there, so she really has become a dried up old prune. Her whole manner is very proper and stiff and severe, and she is always ready to see every situation as black and white. And she is always like the jewel she wears around her neck. The Queen of Clouds lurks in the minds of all of us who have been brought up with the rigid ideas of good and bad, sinful and virtuous, acceptable and unacceptable, moral and immoral. It's important to remember that all these judgments of the mind are just products of our conditioning. And whether our judgments are applied to ourselves or to others, they keep us from experiencing the beauty and godliness that lies within. Only when we break through the cage of our conditioning and reach the truth of our own hearts can we begin to see life as it really is. Bodhidharma far transcends moralists, Puritans, so-called good people, do-gooders, he has touched the very rock bottom of the problem. Unless awareness arises in you, all your morality is bogus. All your culture is simply a thin layer which can be destroyed by any body. But once your morality has come out of your awareness, not out of a certain discipline, then it is a totally different matter. Then you will respond in every situation out of your awareness, and whatever you do will be good. Awareness cannot do anything that is bad. That is the ultimate beauty of awareness, that anything that comes out of it is simply beautiful, is simply right, and without any effort and without any practice. So rather than cutting the leaves and the branches, cut the root. And to cut the root, there is no other method than a single method, the method of being alert, of being aware, of being conscious. So yeah, that point of, expanding the awareness to the recognition in every moment that everything is actually of the same source. Everything is one. So nothing can actually be more or less than another thing. Nothing can actually be better than another thing. Nothing can be more acceptable in existence than another thing, because it's all in existence, and so it's all one. And so to judge one thing as good and another thing as bad is just judging the whole thing. And it's just restricting and it's limiting. So this is a point of practice to expand the awareness, to recognize, start seeing the oneness more in every moment, and yourself with everything else too. Like the miracle that actually exists from the awareness of me and this camera are actually of the same source. We are one. We are of the same thing. Like there is no difference except for this current perception I have that this is taken on this form and I've taken on this form, but we are at our essence the same exact thing. That is phenomenal in terms of what life is actually capable of. So enjoy this point of expansion and awareness, because it's such a cool point that's come through here. So thank you so much, Rebecca, for letting me read you and for opening up this point for all of us to start recognizing the oneness that is here in every moment with everything. You know, we're all one. Everything. You and your curtains in your living room. You and that little mouse that you keep seeing. You and that, the socks on your feet. We're all one. We're all the same thing. Us in the redwoods, us in the clouds, us in the star in the sky, which is the sun. We're all one. It's all of the same source. So have fun with that.